Hello, 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 everyone. Good morning. First of all, I want to apologize. Let me see if this works. Let me see open chat. See if that stops me from having to redo this every day. Wait, the first person to say something. But hey, apologize for not being here yesterday morning, but I think I'm going to have to officially make that a thing. If we are playing the Sunday night game, I'm going to turn those lights down a little bit. I think I had them up for the game. But if we're playing the Sunday night game or the Monday night game or something like that, I'm not gonna be able to get up because I get up at 3 o'clock. Around this morning, I got up at like 3:15, but I get up somewhere around 3:15, 3:30, somewhere around there, and I have to wake myself up because I can't get up and then start doing this or whatever because my brain doesn't work yet and my voice is slow. It slowly comes back and you don't need to hear that scratchy morning voice and all that kind of stuff. So I get up real early and get myself together, and then I do this right before I take the kids to school. So Monday I got up and I was just still mad. And I said, I'll hold on. And, hit the snooze button basically. And then after I hit the snooze button, it was time to take the kids to school. So I needed that sleep. And because the night after the game, I don't know about you, but I couldn't sleep at all. I was too juiced up. And it happened the last time when we won versus Pittsburgh. I was too juiced up to sleep. So it took all night for me to sleep. So that's what happened this time. It took all night to me to sleep because I was so upset. Good morning. Good. I'm glad that does work. That does work. What's up, MVB Dad? What's up, C? Of course. I know you were here yesterday, C. See. I'm not letting sleep bother me from not being at the Shango show. You're so glad. I'm over it too. I'm over the loss. I really am. And the main reason I am is so far this season, everything has gone to script. When you got the schedule and you saw the Ravens, you saw the Lions, no, we're not beating the Lions. And you saw San Francisco, we're not beating San Francisco. So those losses were known by us when we picked up the schedule. So I don't think, I was going to say, does it feel kind of weird to be angry over a loss that you knew you was going to have when we first got the schedule? I know there's emotions tied to it, and that's what made me angry. That's what made you angry. There's a lot of emotions tied to that San Francisco football team and beating that San Francisco football team. But we're not as good as them. We're just not. I mean, we probably have the worst roster in our division. What for sure that roster that played against San Francisco was the worst roster in our division. Easy, because we didn't have Parsons and we didn't have DeMarcus. So everything so far, and then also those three teams that I mentioned are legit Super Bowl or bust teams that beat us. And two of them, we were within a score. Baltimore and San Francisco, we were within a score at the end of that football game. So the only one that blew us out was Detroit, and they had a purpose, and things just rolled their way tremendously. So everything there's nothing that's happened this season that has been out of pocket, in my opinion. Now, this next week, that's when it starts. Against Atlanta is where it starts. I mean, we have to win this football game. I said last week, I said the 49ers and the Cowboys, the loser of that football game isn't done. I said you may say the loser of the football game is done or whatever, but if the 49ers had lost that game, I still think they're going to win that division out there because they were only a game out at 3-4, which is ridiculous. And us, I didn't believe in Philadelphia and Washington. Both of them had a great Sunday that really added to our misery. Because I'm telling you, when the Commanders won that Hail Mary right before our game started, it put me in a horrible place. It did. So that encompassed a real bad Sunday for us. A real bad Sunday. But we still have a chance if we beat those two teams. And I still don't think they're that much better than us. I think that both of them have a better roster than us, for sure. Both of them. But I just feel like we can match up with those teams and play those teams hard. No, we don't need to tank. MVP Dad, there's as much as I love Genty, I kind of want Genty to have a good NFL life. Don't you want to enjoy Genty like you enjoyed Barry Sanders? You know what I'm saying? And not get frustrated because we didn't run Genty enough. You know what I'm saying? Our the worst of all, have Genty just destroyed by the media just because he's a member of the Cowboys. And if Genty doesn't play perfectly every game, they rip him apart. There is that too. So, and that does happen to running backs. Remember DeMarco Murray? I mean, he left out of Dallas. I mean, with the records, and the Cowboys fan base hated him. So let him go somewhere else where he can have some success. There's a lot of running backs out there. A lot of them. Shango, Cowboys getting destroyed by ATL. You know what? Just let the game roll out. I have a parent who's in Atlanta. Everybody is so, especially us. Everybody is so down on their football team if they lose games or whatever. So down on their football team, and we are. I've heard Cowboy fans say we're the worst team in the league over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And that's the way we look at us when we lose. And then watch, if we win a couple of games, they'll say, "Oh, I think we got a chance" or whatever. So you have to stay where you are. You can't go too far this way, especially when you talk about the Dallas Cowboys, because we've been in the middle for a long time. The only time we go to the worst team in the league level is if we lose our quarterback. When we lost Romo, if we lose Dak or whatever like that, then we go to the worst in the league. But we don't ever go to the worst in the league, and we don't go to the top of the league. There's no evidence of us even having a chance to get into the top of the league. So you just got to stay with the Dallas Cowboys. You just got to stay right there in the middle and don't go too far this way. Don't go too far. Somebody's saying delusional. That's what the media makes you. The media creates delusional Cowboy fans by making you feel like we are contenders every year till you get mad. I said it earlier. Don't you feel a little bit weird about getting mad about losing a game that you was going to lose when the schedule came out? But it's a big failure now. It's a huge failure that we didn't do that game. But yeah, that's just the way you look at it. But my point was, everybody looks bad at their own team. And a friend of mine whose son is on my son's soccer team, he's a huge Atlanta fan, and he was like, "Y'all gonna beat us tomorrow," and he just started listening. "Y'all gonna beat us next week," and he just started listing out all the problems. "We got this, we can't do this, blah blah blah," and he just started trashing his team. And I was like, "That's just what we do as fans. We know all of our problems. We don't know the other team's problems or whatever. So we just got to wait to Sunday, man." And all I can tell you about that game versus Atlanta, if we lose, that's the straw that broke the back. Just because, and mainly because, I don't think the Commanders are that good of a team. I don't think they played that good Sunday. I don't think they deserved to win on Sunday. But they were playing a worse team that played very badly at the end. So if you look at the people that the Commanders have beat, it's nothing that makes me like, "Oh my God, I don't want to play them." You know what I'm saying? If they had went and beat down, Pittsburgh, if they had beat down the Ravens, if they had beat down any like mid to top team, you know what I'm saying? Then I'd be like, "Oh, okay, we're going to have to deal with it." But they're on the soft part of their schedule right now. So I'm not really scared of them at the moment. Philadelphia, just a little bit. Cincinnati's not good right now. But Philadelphia, with these 2 wins, which again against teams that probably we should beat as well, but they're starting to get talked up. They're talking about, is Philadelphia a Super Bowl team again? And just a couple of weeks ago, they were trashing Philadelphia. So it's you can't. Whoa, she hit that ball. Who is that? I'm watching Get Up, and there's this girl up there that swinging a bat, and she hit. Good gracious, she hit that ball. What's up, Timo? Well, Cowboys are done until they. Yeah, the Cowboys are done until further notice. I mean, if you're talking about done as far as we should win a Super Bowl, I don't see that. I don't see that in the seeable future. I don't see that in the seeable future. But again, that's why I said we have to downplay our expectations. Our roster's below average. I was gonna say our roster's average. Our roster's below average, and I'm hoping this season we play to the average level. So if we can get to 8 and 9 or 8, that is, and I think that's where I said at the beginning of the season 9, 8, 8, 9. If we get to 9, 8, 8, 9, somewhere around that, that's exactly where I thought we would get at the beginning of the season because of our roster. And I don't know anybody that thought differently than that. Now, if anybody thought we was going to win more than 9 games before this season started, man, I don't know what you were seeing. Good morning, Sadiqa. Yeah, we need a Brock. We need a run game bad, and it's not just a player. And this is what I also said all the time about the Brock game. This is why I don't see us winning in the foreseeable future, is because the run game is not about a player. It's about a player plus 5 to 6 more players on the offensive line that have to block for the run and have to block well for the run. Then it takes a scheme that actually works in the NFL that opens holes for this running backs. And last thing, number 4, it takes an attitude. It takes a run type attitude and an offensive coordinator that will use that run and pass off that run and build their offensive scheme off that run. That's what you need to be a run team. And there's no signs of that even remotely forming in Dallas. Not even remotely. So I just don't. Yeah, run game's atrocious. So I don't see the run game doing anything. We're gonna be a Dak-led football team, and that's gonna lead us to, even if we're like stacked, I think a Dak passing football team will only get to the divisional round. I don't think it can get to the championship and to the Super Bowl, because once you get to that level, you need 2 things. You need to run, you need to stop the run. So if that's why San Francisco is periodically there, because that's one thing they periodically can do. They can run and they can stop the run. That's why the Ravens are periodically there, because that's what they can do. They can run and stop the run. Even Kansas City with their great running back, quarterback, they still can run and stop the run. So those things are the most important aspect of a football team when you get going from divisional round to Super Bowl, and we're not even close to that. We're not even close to that. Do I think the young offensive lineman will be enforced in? I feel strong about the center, about our young center, MVP Dad. I don't know about Guyton. I really don't. We'll see. We should have never let Pollard go. Yeah. Pollard's running hard over there in Tennessee. He really is. Jerry has to prove everyone right with the signing of Dak. He won't let anyone running the ball. But see, that doesn't make sense, though. If you want Dak to win a Super Bowl, then you run the ball. That's when we had the best version of Tony Romo. If everybody remembers that. The best Tony... Look, that game that I was so upset from Dak Prescott, that was a Tony Romo game 100%. I was going to say that I was like, I'm mad at the people from last week that was begging for Tony Romo, because this week we got Tony Romo that would make the mistakes during the game and then rally back to almost win at the end. that was Romo. So the best version of Romo was when we had DeMarco Murray, and DeMarco Murray was breaking records in the run game, and Romo was playing off that. And for some reason, some people think when you say bus driving quarterback, they think the worst. They think you're saying the quarterback can't play and all that kind of stuff. No, you won't bus driving quarterbacks, because bus driving quarterback will win you a Super Bowl. Oh, please. Geomag, that was Geomag, that was 100% a Romo game. That hurts your ears to hear. Geomag says, Shango, stop coping. You're a Dak lover and defender. You can't even acknowledge that Romo was 1,000% better. That was a 100% Romo game where you screw up during the game and then you rally back to almost win at the end. That was it. What's up, Spark? Yes, Dak signed Jerry because that is my number one, and I'm really not liking that about Dak right now, about how he's a yes man. But he's such a yes man. Dak was like, even the when they were talking about the tours, oh, that's fine. I mean, he won't stand against Jerry Jones and an organization for anything. He won't. It's just. That's what bothers me the most about Dak Prescott right there. And then and with that being said, also the roster, I can't stand that he allowed this roster to be like that. How can you be a quarterback of a football team and allow this roster to just deteriorate, and you're the quarterback? And how can you allow them, and you know you're not a running quarterback, and you know you don't want to run and get hurt again? How do you allow them not to give you weapons that's going to always be open? Those are the things that really borderline disgusts me about Dak Prescott. And I don't know why that doesn't make sense to some of you people. But he has allowed this offense to deteriorate right in his watch. Tom Brady, the great ones, they would demand a running back. They would, come on, man. And who? Throwing deep balls to kick returners? Is that how quarterbacks succeed in the NFL? Throwing deep balls to kick returners? You're a quarterback of a football team, and you actually are confident enough in yourself to think that you can win in the NFL throwing deep balls to kick returners, Dak Prescott? I mean, it's just too much. Show some kahunas. Oh, right now, Cortez, of course. Right now, you can name a lot. Hey, Cortez, you can name a lot better than Mahomes too, can't you? Right now, of course. Shoot, you can say Jaden Daniels is better than Mahomes. Right now. Maybe Siddiqa. Maybe Dak has been telling Jerry, but it's not working. Tell him harder. Threaten to leave. You had the whole opportunity to threaten to leave because you had all the leverage in the world over the Cowboys saying, I'm out of here if you don't get what I need. But no, you just ran and signed the contract and you said, what do you want me to do, coach? Where's my team? Oh, these guys? Okay, let's do it. Those are my receivers? Okay, what's his name? Well, Dak's going to play bad, Curtis Allen. If you guys are going to expect that, I doubt Dak will play well in any game this season unless we are playing the Panther or bad team that has quit. There is not going to be a good game by Dak Prescott. And you know why there's not going to be a good game by Dak Prescott? Because the offense isn't any good. And there's never any situation where the quarterback succeeds inside of a bad offense. There's never been that in history. It can't happen. And especially when there's no talent. Al Harris, the next coach. Yeah. The Chiefs picked off Hunters. I know that's what I was telling somebody the other day about our focus. I'm like, we have to have some plan in place. The Cowboys have to have some kind of plan in place that they're executing for long term, for them just to be doing the things they're doing right now. Because it's like you're sitting there arguing about, why you didn't make moves, knowing that you desperately need a wide receiver right here at this moment. A wide receiver might have won us that football game. A wide receiver would have caught that ball that Turpin dropped. A real wide receiver or a running back. They've been moving. And while Jerry is defending himself, Hopkins goes to Kansas City. Cooper goes to Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? There's movement all around the NFL. And instead of talking to the media and trying to defend yourself, you could be on the phone in there trying to get a player. Because Philadelphia and Washington, even if Philadelphia have won a couple of games and look a little bit better because they beat a couple of teams, they're not world beaters. They're not the greatest thing in the world. So what that tells me is you're not even trying to win the division, because the division is just right there. I could understand if we had Tom Brady and the old Patriots in our division, or we were in a division with the Aaron Rodgers Packers that will only lose a couple of games every season, and if you lost a few games that you were out of it and you couldn't beat them, I can understand if you're in a division like that. But we're in a crappy division. And you're not even making any moves to try to win that division, that tells me you ain't. It has to be some kind of long-term plan going on in Dallas, or it's just worse than we ever thought it actually could be. Dallas has a knock for overpaying divas. Jerry doesn't have an eye for getting real dogs on his team, or doesn't care to sign them. Yeah, he doesn't care to sign them. Hey, Drew, I stayed away from training camp, so I didn't. He usually gets sucked in by the Cowboys media, but I stayed away from training camp because the Cowboys media is so strong. The local media is so strong, especially when they start pumping up Cowboys players to the Cowboys fan base. And in that training camp bubble, they pump up players and pump up players and pump up players. And then that's where the delusion comes from. Dallas and Dak needs to use his legs. Look, guys, it's obvious that the Cowboys created Dak the way, because Dak was nothing but a runner and a passer before he got to Dallas. And now the fact that he doesn't run at all, it's like the Eagles have the Commanders twice, and the Commanders have the Eagles twice. Exactly. So there's at least one loss for each of them on that one. Yeah, exactly. Dan Drago. Jerry doesn't care because, I'm saying the Cowboys' ceiling is 9 wins, 8 to 9 wins is the Cowboys' ceiling, and with those 8 or 9 wins, even if it's less than 8 or 9 wins, Jerry's still gonna get his press. They still gonna talk about us on TV. Like for instance, how much did you hear about the Jets yesterday? How much did you hear about the Jets yesterday? They're still ripping us. Stephen A just had a tirade on Dak or whatever. They're just Dak, 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 Dallas, 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 Dak, Dallas, Dak, Dallas, Dak. And they hadn't said a thing about Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. They really hadn't said a thing about Cincinnati. They really hadn't said a thing about the Jets. And the Jets were constructed for a Super Bowl. We have a below than average roster. Our roster in Super Bowl shouldn't even be set in the same paragraph, not the sentence, paragraph. And this team has put together a supposed Super Bowl roster with one of the greatest quarterbacks of the era and yada 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 yada. And they're what, 2-6? I hadn't heard it, Vince Vino. I think I heard one. I think I heard them rip the Jets after the game, on during the game. But I hadn't seen like segments, especially like you see of the Cowboys. They've been and Cincy has been completely quiet. That elite quarterback, they will not say anything about. We're the team. We're the team that gets all the attention. So. How does it feel, the Quincy Carter season? I've been saying they don't talk about any other team, but they call us a bad team. So why don't it? I know. If we're so bad, they got it's so ridiculous. Just leave us alone. I wish we could be not a part of this whole media thing and could just focus on football, because the whole thing just messes up everything. Terrence Steele is not going to get. I mean, that Terrence Steele, Siddiq, that is a 100% Jerry problem, because Jerry was so proud that he had found Terrence Steele, and Terrence Steele was the you know what I'm saying, because he always. That's why I'm so. People who want another quarterback forget how Jerry looks for quarterback. He goes through trash cans and he finds a quarterback. And if they don't work, he goes through another trash can and he finds another quarterback. And if that doesn't work, he goes through another trash can and finds another quarterback. That's how Jerry Jones found Dak Prescott. That's how he found Tony Romo. They were not top prospects. They were later on. They were afterthoughts. Block the media. Media's pimping you guys. Dallas is no more relevant than the Arizona. Exactly. Why don't you treat us like the Cardinals? That's a good analogy. Treat us like the Cardinals. Treat us like the Chargers. We're right there with those teams. You don't treat us like that. You treat us like the 49ers. You treat us like, just because of a brand, you treat us like that. Not because of what we've done. We've done absolutely nothing in the last 20 years to be treated like the Chiefs, the 49ers, and the Ravens. We have done nothing. The media and everybody should treat us like the Browns. Not the Jets, because the Jets gets talked up too much too. How can you suspend somebody that's on IR? I know. That's what I thought, Andrew, too. I was like, when I saw that Sam was gone, I was like, well, Sam's not really playing right now, so. The problem with this team starts at the very top. Yeah, Tony was undrafted. Dak was a 4th-round draft pick. Just afterthoughts. Neither was considered to be good. And I think both of them have played to their potential. I mean, Tony couldn't really run. He could escape or whatever. Dak can't run now, and It's just like they're not perfect quarterbacks. Neither one of them are. The Cowboys have to change their name and logo to get ignored. Yeah, and then you have people coming up to me. Man, what's wrong with the Cowboys? I'm like, nothing. I mean, like, I don't know. They're not good. I don't know what's wrong with the Cowboys. I mean, I don't think anything's wrong with them. I think they're just being who they are. What's wrong with the Cowboys? But that's how all this, the Cowboys. That's all that make think that the Cowboys. What's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? Why they can't win? They can't win because they're not good. Because we're America. But I know, Taka said, I hear that all the time because we're America's team. That doesn't compute on the football field. We haven't done anything on the football field to make you think that we're good. It's just they treat us on the same level of 49ers because the drop at the end of the season, I'm telling you, as a Dallas Cowboy YouTuber, that when the Cowboys flame out at the end of the season, it is highly profitable. And that's one reason. Another reason why, at the end of the season, I hadn't even ranted in years because when I do that, I want it to be real. I don't want to just be ranting just to see my clicks go up and a check come in the mail. That's not going to happen. But that's what happens every year when the Dallas Cowboys tank. If my clicks go up and my dollars go up, you best believe ESPN's clicks go up and ESPN's dollars go up and all the other sports channels and all the everything like that because they can generate a good income off the Cowboys doing this every year. So they got to set it up. And this year is like the most obvious setup because we came into the season with nothing. The Cowboys fans, we wouldn't go to training camp. We boycotted training camp because we knew the season was going to be bad. Yet here we are, week 7 or something, and the Cowboys are a failure. We're hanging around 500, which is like average to below average, which we are, average to below average, and we're a failure. It's just that's. Yeah, we literally have to win every division game, and that's what I said, Beanbug. I don't know about you, but I don't see, with the wins that the Commanders have under their belt, I don't see them as that much better than us. They may be better than us right now, actually. They may be, but not that much. They can be beaten, is what I'm trying to say. The Philadelphia Eagles can definitely be beaten. So however those 6 games go, with Dallas and Philadelphia, Dallas and Washington, Washington and Philadelphia, however those 6 games go, and don't look out for New York for giving somebody a L. New York might slip up and give somebody a L, maybe, because they didn't play too badly last night. But those 6 games between the 3 of us is going to really determine. It's going to really determine, what goes on as far as the win. And that's why I say that knowing that it's like that and knowing that we have a shot, that you're not even trying to add a running back, or you're not trying to add a wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying to add a pass rusher. You're not trying to add anything to the roster to get us from here to here, to give us a chance to win a division. That tells me something about you. Now, I know most of us want us to lose the division and tank. You know what I'm saying? Most of us want that. But you, the organization, you should want to win. You should want to win, Dallas Cowboys organization. Why don't you want to win, Dallas Cowboys organization? Why aren't you trying to win? That's what's going on in my head. Not the players and why the players aren't giving everything they got and why Dak do an interception, why Diggs wasn't giving all. No, I don't want to hear. Why are you not trying to win, Dallas Cowboy organization? That's what's stuck in my head before I can filter down to the players. because you're not doing anything from the end of last year. You've done nothing for this season to try to improve this season. So like I said, it has to be some kind of long-term plan that we know nothing about that better come to fruition at this point, or I don't know what they're doing. I mean, we want them to tank. Cortez, we want them to tank. No. No. The team would look a little bit different with Arch Manning because he'll be able to run. But would we be a winner? No, because Arch Manning can't tackle. He can't cover the slot. He can't play linebacker. He can't stop the run in the middle. So there's a lot of things. What Arch would be below Dak in passing at a rookie, he probably would pass Dak because he has the knowledge to be able to pass him as a passer. But as a runner, he would add more instantly to this offense. So yes, but what did I say earlier? The cap for that football team still with the Arch Manning is divisional round. You're still not a Super Bowl team. But I would love an Arch Manning. Are you kidding me? Jerry doesn't care about. I was trying to explain that to somebody yesterday. It was like the Cowboys don't have to. They don't have to try because they're already making money. I think last year they made 3 times as much as the next team. The Cowboys did. So when you're making that type of money, then you're okay with the loss because you've won a new house, or you've won a new yacht, or you've won, you know what I'm saying? You are progressing in your personal life tremendously if you're associated with the Dallas Cowboys because they're making so much money. And that kind of makes you not hungry. You know what I'm saying? You don't say that, man, I didn't eat this season. I couldn't buy an extra. I couldn't do anything this season because my money wasn't right because we were losing. Nope. You don't do that. You don't have to bear down because your money is coming in season after season after season, regardless of what happens on that football field. All you have to do is make sure that you do not suck. And if you want to know what the signing of Dak Prescott was all about, it was just making sure that we didn't suck. And Dallas, and that's kind of why I'm mad at Dak too, because it's just like he's a tool just to keep Dallas from sucking, and a lightning rod as well for people to talk about him. Like, how many clicks, how much money does Stephen A. make on Dak Prescott talking about him today? Just like, nothing about his bad man. Aaron Rodgers is a bad man, and nothing. But he's made so much money off of Dak Prescott with his little rants and all that kind of stuff. The picks. Now I will. Okay, let me tell you the stuff. I started off with the stuff I liked about the Cowboys because I'm telling you, I'm not with the Cowboys. I'm not over here. Well, they're the worst team in the league. They so horrible. They terrible. Whatever. I'm not over there, and I'm not over here because I can tell you straight up, they're not going anywhere this year. I can tell you that for a fact. They're not going anywhere this year. Their only chance to do anything is the division, and that's looking bleaker and bleaker because of how they're playing right now. They're playing a little bit better than I thought they would play at the moment. But that's it. I'm not over there or over there. It's right here in the middle. Jerry cares, but Jerry cares enough not to suck. And that's what somebody said about us. Oh man, I gotta go take the kids. And someone's talking about us rebuilding, because some people were like, We just need to get rid of everybody and rebuild. We just need to rebuild. We just need to rebuild. That's frustrating to hear too, because you are asking the people who built a pile of crap to sweep that crap along and build a new piece of crap. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everybody who's asking for a new quarterback, a new everything, a new team, a new stuff, if the same people are in charge, you're asking the same people that built a pot of crap with Romo and that crew, a pot of crap with Dak and his crew, and they'll just build a new pot of crap. The same way as other one. Because if you look at Dak and Romo, they are like the twins of all twins right now. They're the twin. I'm telling the last game, when you look at how frustrating both of those guys would be, the last game was just like perfect. The Dallas Cowboys created twins. Trade Parsons while we can. Yeah, but yeah. That's that's why I'm up in the air with Parsons. Of course. If this was Madden, I would ship Parsons like crazy and get a whole bunch of pieces and all that kind of stuff. Sure, but I can't. I don't feel like we'd get back like the Amari Cooper trade. I feel like trade Amari Cooper would have sounded good in the moment, because it's like what we get. A fourth rounder. Huh? A guy that might not make the team? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, trading Parsons sounds good, but, knowing what we've got in trades of recent, yeah. Yeah, you can't drop, JJ, that's a good analogy. You can't drop a piece of mint in crap and think it's going to smell good. Jaden Daniels is broken on the current Cowboys. Jaden Daniels is broken. That thin dude, he's taking so many hits and shots that he is broken. Parsons does not make us a difference. I don't see the difference. I like Parsons, but the whole podcast thing upsets me. He can do what he wants, but it just rubs me the wrong way. Yeah, because he's not playing well. This is just a new world. He's setting himself up for after the game, all that stuff. The worst trade ever, easy. Yeah, I need a ball. That's what I should say. Even that one, I need a ball says we should just everything. I just don't know what to do. Everything bothers me. I need a ball says we should just tank, draft Genty round 1, and then Alabama left tackle round 1. Yes, but come on, how frustrating would it be if we did that? I need a ball, and during crucial times of the game, we didn't run Genty, because that's going to happen. When was Zimmer going to realize that Wilson is not it? It's about time for Thomas to come on and give a shot, along with Bell, and let Hooker and Wilson just sit. The highlights of Wilson chasing people this year, this season alone, is so frustrating. It's ridiculous, Hemingway. And not only that, too, he was grabbing the shirt. Like, he just had the shirt of Kittle, like that was going to make the tackle. He grabbed the shirt of John, the running back for Detroit. I can't think of his name right now, but he grabbed his shirt. Good morning, Vic. Steele's a problem, but Steele's been paid. So, what if Jerry's grandson is the savior? I don't know. I know which one you're talking about. He was a little kid out there when I was first out there in Oxnard with T.O. and him. He was a little kid throwing the ball, and now you see him all in the drafts and everything. So he's listening to us. He knows who I am. He knows all the YouTube bloggers. So I know he hears a lot of stuff that he's saying. So maybe, because I know Steven is not the savior. Steven is not the savior. Steven is actually the current problem. The current problem isn't Jerry. Jerry just is the diarrhea of the mouth of the organization. But Steven is actually doing the nuts and bolts with the team. And he's the one responsible for what's going on, the contracts, all this kind of stuff. So Steven is not our savior. So maybe it's the young Jones. What coach do you think will take over next season? I don't know. I was, not that I was hoping for a blowout, but if we was going to lose, a blowout would get McCarthy fired. So, if we're going to lose, let's clean house. You know what I'm saying? And when Dak threw that interception, I was like, maybe something good to come out of that interception, like Mike McCarthy is gone. And no, what I was saying earlier, that's what I got to say because I got to go. I'm at 5:30 already. What I do like about the football team is their response from after the game. I do like the way Diggs came out on and went at that reporter. I do kind of like that. That showed some heart. That showed that he cares, okay? Diggs, I don't think Diggs is as good as we think he is because I feel like he's one of the marketing things at the organization that punked him up. But Diggs is good, and he's going to give you what he can give you. He's not super fast. He's not a super athlete. He's not, there's a lot of stuff that he's not. But that showed me that at least he cared. It maybe was the wrong move to do, that you don't go do that or whatever, but that showed some kind of right emotion that he cared about his performance out there on the football field. So I was okay with that. Another thing was the way CD talked, the way Dak talked, and the way Mike McCarthy talked after the game. All three took responsibility. They didn't throw responsibility to anybody else. They didn't show attitude. CD Lamb took responsibility for the interceptions. He said he knows what he could have done. He said he should have been stronger at the top or whatever, but he completely took his responsibility for those interceptions. Dak completely ate his, saying it was the worst pass of his life, and I totally agree with him, and I am still mad at him for, you can't give the people that hate you a reason. You can't. That's what you did to yourself when you came back and you signed a contract with the Dallas Cowboys. When you came back and played with the Dallas Cowboys, you were going to have to be perfect, and any mistakes that you made was going to be turned up by 10. And this mistake was huge, and you allowed a huge mistake to get turned up by 10 by everybody, all the people that hate you. So Dak Prescott, I want you to feel all this anger and everything that's coming from these people so you never make a mistake like that again. I know quarterbacks make mistakes like that all the time. I know they make mistakes like all that time. But this is the situation you put yourself to, being the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. You cannot make those. You cannot make mistakes, really. But those mistakes you cannot make. You cannot make. And third, Mike McCarthy said that he said the second interception was just, there was more on Dak. But Dak was just trying to get the ball out there, and he got hit, and the ball was trying to get out there, and he couldn't get it out there because he got hit, all that kind of stuff. But the second interception that I hated so much and blamed Dak, actually Mike McCarthy he said that was his fault because he wished he had that call back because he should have, whatever, the football jargon. So the fact that all three of them took responsibility like they're supposed to do, Jarvis, like they're supposed to do, especially, what we are thinking of CD and Dak, because CD's words were more, they were just like honest. He was like, I know Dak knows he can throw a better ball, and I know Dak knows that he can do better or whatever, but I can only focus on me, and I know I should have been yada, 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 yada. So hearing that stuff was good to hear. So we'll see. Again, hey, I already addressed that recency bias, radio. We'll tank and draft the wrong person. We'll rebuild another pile of trash like we built the last two times with Romo and Dak. That's what we'll do. So yeah, let's tank and do it again.